I know that we've got a lot going on, but the world is still moving. And it's one of those things where the longer you're in this crisis, the more and more I realize that things are happening that are going to impact, that are impacting people now, but they're going to impact people long after those. And one of these, and the reason this is on the agenda now as a suspension of the rules and action, is this will allow us as a council, as a body, to comment before the comment period closes on changes to the Community Reinvestment Act, also known as the CRA. In August of 2018, the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, OCC, released an advance notice for proposed rulemaking, and this contained these proposals of how to quote-unquote modernize CRA regulations. Just for those at home and for the benefit of my colleagues, more than 80 years ago, the Homeowners Loan Corporation, HOLC, which was a federal agency that no longer exists, created residential security maps of American cities. These maps outline neighborhoods considered high risk or hazardous in red. This is the technical explanation for redlining, which meant that they were denied access to capital investments that could have improved both the housing and the economic opportunity of residents. Redlining reinforced the segregation of American cities by systematically excluding minority communities and African Americans, Catholics, Jews, immigrants, and their neighborhoods from access to credit. It also made it very difficult for Black Americans to buy homes and to move closer to economic opportunities. When the CRA was enacted in 1977, the goal was to eliminate redlining in low and moderate income communities of color and to create more opportunities for home ownership, which we know is a huge way to build wealth, and Lord knows we need it now. According to the National Community Reinvestment Coalition, 75% of the neighborhoods that were graded high risk, 75 of the redlined neighborhoods, 75%, today, 8 decades later, are still the low-income communities where people live. So this has had devastating impacts long-term that still are around to today. 64% of these areas have populations that are predominantly communities of color. A 2019 report from the same organization confirmed that the largest obstacle to wealth creation among people of color is the lack of inherited wealth. Home ownership across generations is a major means of passing along this wealth, and because of the recession and the mortgage crisis, that has been nearly eliminated and has not come back. So modernizing this, the CRA is important because of changes in our economy and the banking industry, but unfortunately many of the changes recommended by the OCC could actually subvert local lending and investing by nation's banks. And however, challenges such as guidance that ensures loans in low-income census tracts reach underserved residents versus people with high incomes moving into gentrified areas is critical. So as we recover from COVID-19, which we will do at some point, and we're doing all we can, as you heard this morning here in Montgomery County, the CRA can and will be a valuable tool to help many individuals and businesses that have been highly impacted coming out of this crisis. So I'm putting forth this resolution in support of the Community Reinvestment Act and not to have weakening regulations, and ask that my colleagues would join in this effort. I thank you, Mr. President.